You're watching Reality Check. I'm Natasha Jog. It's the government versus the church in Jharkhand. This amid reports of child trafficking from the Ranchi branch of Mother Teresa's Missionaries of Charity. The Chief Minister of Jharkhand, Raghubar, has now asked the State Commission for the Protection for Child Rights to investigate all such centres and shelter homes by the 15th of August. There are about 50 adoption and shelter homes, 12 of which are run by the Missionaries of Charity, including 2 in Ranchi. All their records will be verified and corrective measures will be taken. What's more now, the Jharkhand police says that they want a CBI probe into not just the sale of babies but also the funding at the Missionaries of Charity. They say they want this to investigate if the money was used for conversions, among other things. Well, just a short while back, I spoke with Bishop Theodore. He is the Secretary General of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of India, India's top Catholic church body. Now, he hit out very strongly at all of that, saying that it's a deliberate attempt to malign Mother Teresa's, or Saint Teresa as she's now known, her institutions, the Missionaries of Charity, saying that the confession of the 2 arrested, which includes a nun, which is what the police is basing their investigation on, was under duress, at least that of nun. Also saying that, he said that this is an attempt to target the entire institution, all those employed and all those working with it, which he says is unfair, but confident, he said, the truth will come out. Thanks so much, Bishop, for speaking to us. You've spoken out today earlier, for the sisters. Now, 2 people, we know, a staffer at this home in Ranchi and a sister have been arrested. The police say, Bishop, that they have a confession, and on the back of that, they are, of course, probing this, and it seems to be getting murkier and murkier.
What can I say? All this I can say. First thing, I want to make one thing very clear. The Mother Teresa congregation is not involved in the case. Let's make that very clear. There's one staffer who is alleged to have sold a baby or given a baby for money. How that transpired, what that transpired is very difficult, because the police have not given us access till today to the sister. For almost 8 days now, we have not had access to the sister. Today, finally, we have had some access. We have also very limited access to her. Blaming the Missionaries of Charity without a proper inquiry is not correct.
Okay, sir, but how do you say that the charity set up by Mother Teresa, now of course Saint Teresa, isn't involved, because this staffer, Anima Indwar, was an employee of Nirmal Hriday. This is run by the Missionaries of Charity. Sister Kunsalia, who is the nun, the sister who's been arrested in this case, is also working for Nirmal Hriday, of course, like I said, which is run by the Missionaries of Charity. So how can the Missionaries of Charity not take responsibility for this?
If one of your workers tomorrow is involved in something, will the NDTV, whole NDTV organization be accused of something organized? That's the question. There's one worker who has been accused. She in turn seems to have accused the sister. Let us wait for the inquiry before making such a general comment. I can tell you, I have spoken to the superiors of Mother Teresa sisters, and we are absolutely clear. Mother Teresa congregation is not involved in this.
Now, you would agree, sir, that there are at least 4 children who are alleged to have been sold in this fashion. It, of course, all came out when one of them, the family that had adopted one of them, said that they paid 1.2 lakhs, but the baby was given to them and then taken away. Wouldn't you believe that nobody is beyond the law or investigation? So the police say they are investigating and they should go ahead and do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Nobody is beyond the law. But you tell me, if something has happened in Nirmala Hriday, why should the CWC, along with the police, go to Sishu Bhavan in Hinu, another house, take away all the babies amidst the protest of the parents who were present, and we are pleading with them not to take away the babies? Now, this is crossing. They have gone to Jamshedpur, they have gone to Gridi, they have gone to Gumla. Almost every house is being raided. What sort of a system of law is this? That is what there seems to be concerted attempt to prove that the Mother Teresa's organization is involved.
What is your demand really in this situation? What are you asking for? Because the probe is underway.
First of all, there are 2 or 3 things. First of all, we must have complete access to our sister who is in custody. We must have a complete access. We must be able to talk to her. So you must understand, the Mother Teresa sisters are very, very simple sisters. Very, very simple. They get frightened of the police. The sister says she was forced to sign certain statements. That's what the sister told our lawyers today in the few minutes that she got. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, I think the CWC should stop terrorizing every house of the Mother Teresa sister. They are terrorizing not only the sisters, but the children. They're terrorizing the parents when they go and take away parents. I will just tell you one little episode. They've taken a child that was sort of saved by the sisters from pneumonia, extreme pneumonia. Against the protests of the sisters, they took away this child. This child is back to ICU. Is that the way you are going to treat our children?
Right, so strong words there from Bishop Theodore. Let me introduce my panel to you right away. I'm joined by R.K. Malik, the ADG of Ranchi, also Sunita Kumar, spokesperson for the Missionaries of Charity, Lalita Kumaramangalam, Director, India Foundation, member BJP is with us, as is Dr. Abraham Mathai, ex-chairman of the Minorities Commission. ADG Malik, sir, let me just come to you first this evening. You heard the top church, Catholic church body in India come out very strongly in defense of the Missionaries of Charity. But if we talk specific, we just heard the bishop say that there seems to be a concerted attempt to target the Missionaries of Charity, saying it's unfair at the way the investigation is being carried out. That, and of course also saying that the so-called confession was made under duress.
I would first begin with requesting everybody to go through the provisions of the Juvenile Justice Act passed in 2015. The Act lays down very clear guidelines regarding functioning of the child care homes and the role which the CWC has been given to inspect and to regulate the functioning. In that Act, it is the CWC which has the power to declare a child legally free for adoption. And an authority has been created at the state level and the central level who have the final word on, I mean, if anybody wants to adopt a child, the authority has to sanction it. So there are very well laid down guidelines in the JJ Act, and section 80 and 81 of the JJ Act proscribes that if somebody sells or a child illegally doesn't follow the provisions of laid down in the JJ Act, then it's a punishable offence under section 80 and 81 of the JJ Act. So that is the legal position.
Okay.
Now, in this particular case, as the media is not, everybody is aware of, this case was triggered by the complaint filed by a couple from Uttar Pradesh in front of the CWC. The CWC conducted an inquiry, and Anima Indwar, who was a staffer in the Missionaries of Charity home here, Nirmal Hriday home in Ranchi. She gave details about, she made a confession before the CWC, not before police. So, and she said that 4 children had been sold. 2 had been sold for amount of 50,000 rupees each. In case of 1, she did not have any detail. And in the case of 4th child, 1,20,000 rupees was taken. And this lady, she herself had 20,000 rupees and gave 1 lakh rupees to the concerned authorities. So this is how the investigation has started. Now, as far as police is concerned, out of the 4, 3 children have been traced and they have been brought back. About 1, we still don't have the details. The parents are traceless, so efforts are being made to trace them and to find where these people are. Whatever the facts of the case are emerging today, there is a human angle to this also, which must be understood. The 3 parents who took these children with them, they went to their own houses, to their own.
I see what you're saying, right?
They would have they would have shown it this child to everybody, and now they have been, because they have an illegality has been committed, these children have to be brought back by civil.
I see what you're saying.
Then you have to see the trauma which the others are also facing.
Okay,
so
there are just so people. That really is the most heartbreaking, one of the most heartbreaking aspects of it all. I mean, both for the child and the family who adopted this child. Before I ask you all the other questions that I've lined up for you, Malik, let's just get Sunit Kumar to respond to that. I mean, we know that the bishop, the church, speaking out very strongly in your favor. But I mean, we just heard Malik there saying that there are rules, there are clear guidelines, and there are now clear statements, clear confessions there on record.
I'm just going to read out a message, and I've been told to do this. Bishop Theodore Mascarenhas, who's from Delhi, and Secretary CBCI, has made a statement.
Yes, ma'am, we just carried his interview also.
Attempt. I know this is a deliberate attempt to malign one of the world's and India's most loved institution, Mother Teresa's Missionaries of Charity. The truth will come out, and that's it. That's it. I've been told to just do this.
Okay, fair enough, ma'am. But just very quickly, coming back to the fact that this was a staffer. I know that in that interview, Bishop Theodore, of course, spoke very strongly and said, that it's unfair to just taint everyone with the same brush. But there is a confession here, ma'am.
No, I'm not allowed to say another word. Okay.
So Malik, how would you respond to that, sir? How would you respond to that, sir? That this is a deliberate attempt to tarnish the Missionaries of Charity.
Yeah, that's what
you see, the police is conducting the investigation as per the evidence which has been gathered.
I was told by Mother House to just
police
say
is not in the. Go
ahead, sir.
May I continue?
Yes, please.
The police doesn't have any role to either praise or malign. That's not our business. Our business is to go as per the available evidence. The evidence points to certain wrongdoings which has happened in a particular place which belongs to the Missionaries of Charities. That is one issue. The second issue is that there is a reason to believe that there might have been violation of the FCRA norms. You would be aware that as per the section 40 of FCRA Act as passed in 2011, there is a provision that if there is a reasonable prima facie belief that there might have been some violation of FCRA norms, then action has to be taken as per the procedure laid down.
Okay.
So that is the second thing that we are doing.
I want to just come to that. I'm sorry to interrupt you there, sir.
Book as laid down.
I'm just
nothing more, nothing less.
Malik, I'm just sorry to interrupt you there, but I want to just take this. I just want to take this to Dr. Mathai, who wants to make a point. You're hearing both sides, and I'm just coming to you, Mangalam. But Dr. Mathai, you're both sides, very strong statement there from church. But the point that ADG Malik is making is that there are the guidelines and the laws and the rules on this are very clear. Any violation, and they're just carrying out their job, doing their duty. These are little children, and there's already talk of those 280 children for whom there seems to be no record.
Give me some time to explain. First of all, let us see what is the Missionaries of Charity. Missionaries of Charity is an organization started by Mother Teresa, who is recognized all over the world, and every single nun who works under her works with the same passion today for the destitute and for the lost of this world. Secondly, they have got 750 units all over the world and 150 in India itself. Now, you tell me, this when in 2015 August, when CARA is an organization under the Women and Child Ministry that came out with a policy that they should give adoption to single parents, gays, lesbians, or live-in relationship. They refused to this because of the principles on what they have started this mission. So if they have refused for that, why will they take? Today in Bombay, Bombay Center itself, 7,500 adoptions have happened since 1965. Can there one person come and say they paid money for it? These sisters are a world apart. I'll tell you, casting aspersions on them, it is against humanity.
I see what you're saying. It's nobody's case to take away from
the... It is just to defame them.
I see what you're saying.
Let me tell you one last point. What happened in Gurgaon? They arrested the driver. They got a confession from the driver who killed the child. Ultimately, it was a student. You understand? So confession, as this police officer says, in police custody is not even accepted in the court. They have even restricted. Access to the lawyer. They just now I heard from the bishop. This is totally unfair. They are trying to malign the image of the Missionaries of Charity. Tell me something. They have been saying.
You made your point, so we'll just go to NDTV
Malik. Which leper in the city?
I'm sorry, but I have to ask you to interrupt. You made your point, so let NDTV Malik respond. I see what you're saying.
When such allegations are made against
you're just repeating yourself now.
Pardon me?
NDTV Malik, go ahead.
Natasha, may I please come in here?
Yes, ma'am, you're coming in. Just give me a moment. Quickly, sir, quick response before I go to ma'am.
The statement by Anima Indwar was not made to police. The statement by Anima Indwar was made to the members of CWC. It is an extrajudicial confession. It is admissible in law, and it is sufficient ground for proceeding ahead.
That is my question. I am not saying money was not transparent.
Can I please?
Let the investigation reveal.
Gentlemen, just hold for a moment. Okay, gentlemen, just hold for a moment. Let's just take
this. May I please come in here, Natasha?
Dr. Mathai,
you should ask the gentleman.
I'll come back to you. Lalita Kumar Mangalam, ma'am. Lalita Kumar Mangalam, thank you. Lalita Kumar, ma'am, you're hearing this. You're hearing both sides
Good evening.
sticking to their stand.
I'd like to say first,
attempt to malign Mother Teresa's institutions is what the church says.
No, I'd like to make this debate less emotional than it has been so far. When anybody traffics or sells a child, they are committing, regardless of what religion they may or may not belong to, it is considered one of the most heinous crimes of against humanity. Children are probably the most innocent of all human beings. Now, regardless of the religious affiliations of the institution that has been accused, the point is that children seem to have been trafficked. And trafficking can never be carried out by one single individual. Let's get this absolutely clear. There has always been a demand for children, and I agree many children have been sold over the years, but that's another point. The point is that it is the people who have trafficked these children who have cast the greatest slur on Mother Teresa, God bless her soul. All right. Now, it's easy to say, to make it into a religious issue. This is not about religion. In this case, an organization affiliated to the Missionaries of Charity has been found guilty. The police was brought in after the confession was made before a child welfare committee, which does not consist of police. There is no member of the police in the CWCs anywhere in the country. So it's easy to say that confession was coerced. It was not coerced out of anybody. It's also equally easy for the church to hide behind religion and say that because the BJP is in power in Jharkhand, that they are trying to cast slurs on Mother Teresa. That is absolutely untrue. A very heinous crime has happened. It has to be investigated. There are very strict laws laid down under CARA. Those have to be followed. Let me finish. Please do not interrupt when I'm speaking. Please do not interrupt when I'm speaking. We have the courtesy to let you speak. Now let me finish. You've had your chance. Stop shouting, please. Have the courtesy to allow others to also give their point of view. Nobody interrupted you, please.
Okay, ma'am. Dr. Mathai, let her finish. I'll get you to respond.
Now, the fact is that under the law, there are procedures that have been laid out. Those procedures have been followed. Whatever may be anybody's personal feelings or religious affiliations, the fact is that trafficking of children is a huge business. And people err. it should not be connected to what religion the institution belongs to or does not belong to for that case. And it's easy to make everything about religion and brush the crime under the carpet. We need to go into this thoroughly. We need to give the credit, give the benefit of the doubt to the police. And yes, if you want to call the CBI in to do the investigation, fine. But the moment you make it about religion, the crime that has actually been committed
innocent until proven guilty. Benefit of doubt to the police, not fair enough. But it could be argued that benefit of doubt can then be given to those who are on scan on this, unless of course they are found guilty after a proper investigation, and that is what we need. Yes, Dr. Mathai, you want to come in?
I am saying we are not. I am not defending in the name of religion. I am talking in the name of humanity. Mother Teresa and her organization is not known in India but all around the world. She's a Nobel laureate because her commitment to humanity, to seeing a suffering humanity, she could not stand.
Sir, Mother Teresa, as I told you,
so my question is, every single nun who joins them, every single nun who joined Mother Teresa has got the same passion that Mother Teresa had. And I'll tell you something. If they wanted money, they could have sold. I'm telling you, 7,500 kids have been have been given for adoption in Bombay Center alone. Not a single rupee is charged because that is against
I don't think the point is. I don't think anyone's taking away from.
I'm telling you, 2015, when the government came with this policy giving the adoption to any Tom, Dick, and Harry,
because our centers
they said we'll rather stop adoption, but we will not compromise.
You're all talking on top of each other, so we are not really audible. Take that.
That's a ridiculous argument, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay. And nobody's taking away from some of the work that has been done, these institutions. But Sunita Kumar, ma'am, I know that you only want to read out that statement, but I just want to sort of take this to you. How do we see this? I mean, what are you asking for? You're saying that this is a statement that's been taken under duress. There will be a due process of law that will be carried out, but really it's the police's word against yours. So, ma'am, what really is your demand at this stage?
No. There's no demand. I've been told by Mother House to just read this statement and that's it. I'm not to say another word.
Okay. Peterji Malik, I want to come back to the other demand that the Jharkhand police had, sir, that there should be a CBI probe also looking into funding and then also talking about that these funds were allegedly or could have been used for conversions. So that does color the debate then differently, doesn't it?
No, the letter which has been written by the Director General of Police to the state government, it only says that as per the section 40 of FCRA as amended in 2011, if there is a reasonable apprehension that there is a violation of FCRA norms above 1 crore of rupees, then only central government is empowered to get an inquiry conducted by CBI. It is not within the domain of the state government to conduct an inquiry if it is believed that the violation may be of a tune of or more than 1 crore rupees. So there is no other, it's only plain and simple. This has been written in the letter that since it's a technical, legal provision is there. So this, the state government should request.
But there are many who are asking why the need to talk about conversions and all of this. Why are we linking?
To be taken to freeze the account. Okay. No, because you see, because on the FCRA website, you go on FCRA online, it's clearly all the details are available. Since apparently the funds are secured for running these child care homes and shelter homes, and if it has come to light that at one particular place certain violations have occurred,
so then you need to
there is a reasonable belief to believe that there might have been certain more violations at other places.
Okay.
So it's only the demand is only for an inquiry to know as to whether there is a violation or no violation.
Okay, Lalita Kumar Mangla, ma'am, I'll give you the last word on this. Like I said, it's the church's word now really versus that of the police versus that of the state government. How would you like to see this play out, ma'am? I mean, how will we know what has happened here? Either way, whether these allegations of trafficking are correct or incorrect, what should really happen next to sort of tell us where these children have gone?
Look, I agree with one thing that the head of the Catholic Bishops Conference said, that the truth will come out.
Yeah.
Now, investigation should be allowed to proceed and everybody should cooperate with it. We need to stop talking about BJP versus Christianity, etc., etc., because that's not going to do any children who may be at risk anywhere in the country any good. Like I said, children are the most innocent. If somebody they have laid their own trust in does this to them, then it's a particularly heinous crime.
Right. So
Mother Teresa's name should not be dragged into this controversy, and it's not being dragged by us. It's being dragged, unfortunately, by people who claim to be her followers.
Which is
she
why
has passed on many years ago, and nobody cast any doubts on her.
Were involved, and how
which is why it's important that we get to the truth of the matter.
Right.
So the investigation must be allowed.
And we will, of course, have to wait to see the investigation taking its own course and see just how this pans out. For the moment, of course, the battle lines very clearly don't spare a thought, of course, for all those children, those families who have perhaps taken them home. What happens next? But this is, of course, the big story. We continue to keep a close eye on it.